Hey folks, and welcome back to some more Rockies baseball. We won a World Series. We're in 2031. We're going to start speeding things up. We're not going to have the full regular pacing that we've had before. We're going to kind of streamline this. Truthfully, I think my time as the GM is coming to an end. I think we've done what we wanted to do. We'll play this out for a little bit. Also, look, Mike Trout's in free agency. That's just hilarious. But I think I've done what I wanted to do here. So we'll play it out for a little bit. We'll kind of see how this team develops. Other than that, we're just kind of going to roll through it. So two guys, if I were to offer a contract extension right now to, would be Bud Leonard and Bobby White. These two have been probably our two best pitchers that we've had so far. These two are also closest to free agency. One more year of arbitration for each of them, and then free agency in 2033. So maybe I would try to get this deal done. 5 years, 100 for Leonard to his age 32 season. Or we could go, maybe 9 years, 8 years, something like this for Bobby White, which actually isn't too crazy to get a top-of-the-line guy here for about $14 million a year. So we are, if we make a deal like this, we'll show it off. But for the most part, we're kind of just going to go through this. And we'll have the 2 games that we show per month. I don't think we're going to be doing much of the prospect look-ins. I don't think we're going to be doing much of those moments. But yeah, so we will see at the end of spring training and then probably hop right into game 1 of our season. All right, let's just meet our team before we do this spring training. Here are the guys going for positions. Really, only a couple of these guys are actually fighting for positions. I think for the most part, our team is pretty, even though it's new, it's pretty set in stone. Enrique Benitez, Tyrone Gehringer, William Kang, Lewis Pittman, Christian Nam, Josh Rubel, Derek Connolly, Fred Gerber, and Leland Metzger. And then Dominic Romo, Langford, Troy Woods, Julian Thompson, David Howard made the 40-man. Amador Tavar, Gorman, Winchester, Jazz, Osiris Johnson, and then David Bike. He made the 40-man as well. Really, the guys that I think have a shot, I guess between Metzger and Benitez, whoever plays out better would be our backup outfielder. At this moment, I actually kind of am going Metzger just because of the speed and the fielding is a little more reliable, while Benitez's bat is better, but the fielding still needs a lot of work. Maybe we have him just one more season in AAA. But either of these guys I'm fine being probably our 4th outfielders. Gehringer obviously was our bench bat last year. That's a spot that he could probably still keep, but it's really between him, Kang, and Pittman. I think all 3 of those guys offer a decent bat. I think Gehringer has that higher contact, which definitely helps him out. Definitely has a plus skill, while these guys are kind of more well-rounded guys. Maybe in AAA again for these two would be better. Christian Nam probably not, just with the power. Rubel could excite. Maybe he's up with the club later on. Connolly's kind of just in because he had to be on the 40-man. And Gerber, again, down years. He probably won't be making it. David Bike, I really don't think he has a shot. And then maybe David Howard. He's kind of the odd man out here in this thing just because of the long-term upside. Everyone else we think is a little bit better. But I think he can have depending on how many at-bats he gets in spring, he could actually be pretty good. So that's what we're going with for our lineups for pitching rotation. Mora, Parra, Garcia. Just don't have the same amount of starting pitcher depth, I guess, that we've had in seasons past, but that's A-okay. So Manuel and Benitez will be fighting it out. Maybe they don't even get a chance to make this team, but they have impressive springs. Obviously we have kept multiple starters in our pitching squad before, so that's fine. Bullpen, Justin Leal gets the call up. Holden Powell, Dan Wyatt, Aldo Lozano, a guy I think we traded for this past offseason. He's here. Pearson, Garcia, Calderon, Brisky, Kroger, and Scott, with Rose, White, Leonard getting rest until about midway through. So, as usual, I will be going through and just doing this spring training. we'll have little cuts when we do our we'll have little breaks when we do our cuts, and then we'll get right on to the beginning of the season. First cut's gonna be David Bike again, just kind of on the roster because of the what am I going to say? Because he needed to be on the 40 man. I am going to start him off in Double-A just because I want him to get as much playing time as possible. I want Rubel, who's actually tearing it up right now, to get as much playing time as possible. I still think even with a really good spring, I don't think he outdoes Winchester or Romo. This is really one holdover year. We only have a 1-year contract for Romo. So if he does not have a year like he just put up last year, and even then, I still think it would be moving on from Drew Romo. We gave him $8 million to stick around. I think he'll be our catcher tandem with Winchester next season and kind of start that clock then. But he's playing really well, and then Bike waiting in the wings as well. Other cuts we're going to make so far, everyone looks so good. Derek Connolly, I don't really think has a chance. This is kind of our doesn't have a chance cuts here. Maybe kind of give some of these guys some more at bats. Pittman, it's been okay. Kang has been really good. I think I'm going to give them another cycle through before I make a decision. Fred Gerber, I'm going to move down to it's Double-A for right now, but probably most likely Triple-A to free up some room. Christian Nomza doing fine. I'll let him stick around. Benitez and Metzger both have been doing really good, with Metzger actually doing real nice. 270 batting average and 3 home runs. And then maybe we kind of get David Howard in here. No pitcher cuts as of right now, just because we don't really have that much depth. So I'm going to give everyone another cycle through, and then we will have our next cut in about a week before we finish off the spring training. And now we're going to go into the pitching cuts. As of right now, looks like everyone's doing well except for Henry Manuel, so we will be starting him off in AAA. Just really wasn't doing it, but Fernando Benitez has been doing very, very nice in his few starts. We're going to move him to the bullpen for the rest of the time. And these guys are going to get their spots back. So really between Parra and Garcia, looks like Garcia's really killing it. Parra's probably going to go into the bullpen to give Garcia some work. See if he can finish it off. We might have Leonard Mora, Rose, White, and Garcia be our startings, but these two guys kind of interchangeable here. When one struggles, the other one goes. These are kind of both of our fifth starters, if you will. We probably should be running a 6-man rotation, but just don't really like that philosophy. In the relievers, Nate Pearson getting lit up, but he's under contract. He'd probably be a guy. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So how many cuts do we need to make here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have to keep 6. Need 13, 6, and 1. So 6, 6, and 1. Scott is there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 1, 2, so 3 spots need to go. Dan Wyatt, he's one of those guys who needs to go. So that is 1. Olin Powell. Justin Leal's doing right. Doug Kroger's not doing too hot. But maybe as of right now, we'll leave him in just for a second. Give him another run through. We'll keep Rubel on. I mean, why not? You'll keep him on, but he most likely will be cut. And then we're going to start bringing in our boys and bringing in the starters. Geringer's done well enough to keep his spot. Amador and Cyrus Johnson not doing too hot. William King and Lewis Pittman looks like they won't be doing the bench bat role. We will keep Kang up for a little bit, but he'll just go back to the bench and most likely be cut in the next wave. Christian Nam continues to hit. Benitez and Metzger again fighting over that last outfield spot. And then David Howard, he did not do really much in his limited opportunity. All right, so let's move the rotations and the starting lineups to what the opening day stuff should be. And then we will finish it off and show some statistics and then head out of here. All right, final cuts here. We have 33 on the active roster. You can drop this down to 26. So for the starters, Leonard, pretty solid. Mora, okay. JJ Rose, really good. Bobby White, not so much. Parra did okay. Garcia did really well. Fernando Benitez kind of got hit up in the bullpen. We are going to drop him down to AAA. That is A-okay. We like to have 6 starters. We're usually just one guy for long release, spot starts, things like that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It kind of was always going to be the 6. And Benitez and Manuel kind of just got a test trial. That is A-okay with me. We need to keep 6 bullpen guys. Brisky, Calderon, Pearson, Garcia are kind of our locks. So between these next 4, we need to pick 2. Kroger will not be it. 10 ERA in his innings. Lozano and Leal did just fine. Holden Powell did okay. This is tough. I think we're going to go with the youth movement. Holden Powell does have another option to use. So that would be our 6. Justin Leal, Aldo Lozano, Vinny Garcia, Nate Pearson, Roger Calderon, and Bo Brisky. With Tanner Scott being our closer. That will be our pitching staff. So let's check out that pitching staff just on paper. Here's how things will go. Again, we'll have Bobby White be our 1. JJ Rose be our 2. And then Mora Garcia would probably be, that's what we'll start with in the rotation. Garcia, again, as we've known, kind of struggles when he's, last year was really good, but when he's starting, he hasn't been fantastic. So we'll see if we can kind of get him going. Now, I think having that velocity is something that we don't really see with the rest of our guys. So having that around, I think, can help in the back end of the bullpen or the pitching rotation. That is how we're going to do it here. The rest of our pitching staff will kind of look like this. We'll have Calderon be the setup guy. We'll have 2 lefties in the back there. Brisky, Vinny Garcia, he will be our second. These will be our 2 quick guys, with Lozano, Pearson, Para, Brisky being kind of in the middle. So this is how we're going to set up our bullpen. This guy, I think, will give us the jumblings of innings we want, and that is the bullpen. Before we take a look, let's look at the lineup. So we'll just go over the stats here. Wood, not great. Amador, that's fine. These guys are locked in. Shutout, Wyatt Langford being a beast. That's good. Helps. Still that hurt of Nolan Jones not being on the team. It's a hurt, but it doesn't hurt quite as much, I guess. Jazz Chisholm, Nolan Gorman, Tommy Domine, Ezekiel Tovar, Drew Romo had a really good spring, and Sterling Thompson. So what are we looking for? Well, the backup catcher, we have 4 spots left on the bench. Backup catcher, already taken by Mark Winchester. Bench bat is going to go to Tyrone Garinger, and then utility guy is Osiris Johnson. So really it is between Leland Metzger and Enrique Benitez, and you saw the stats. We're going to go Leland Metzger. So let's make the rest of these roster cuts, move these guys down, and then get right into the regular season. Josh Rubel, excellent debut in the major leagues. He will go back down to Triple-A. Cyrus Johnson will stay. William Kang, you will go down to Triple-A, my friend. Outfield, Kang, Nam, excuse me. You will go down to the minor leagues. Benitez, you will start in Triple-A. He is our top prospect and one of the top prospects in all of baseball. Actually, let's just check out that list since we're not really going over it too quickly. Benitez, number 9 ranked prospect. We have David Moore on this list as well. Robert Cairo at 18. Ken Yamazaki all the way at 29. Henry Manuel at 36. Justin Leal, almost a top 50 prospect. He'll start the season with us in the major leagues. Roger Colon, who I'm really excited about. He's 69. Nice. Bernardo Caruso at 72 for us. Christopher Sutton at 84. And that rounds out our top 100 representatives. Here's our top 20 in our organization. Moore, Benitez, Cairo, Yamazaki, Manuel Leal, Roger Colon, Bernardo Caruso, and Chris Sutton. So 9 top 100 guys and really 9 top 85 guys. And then newcomers like Stuart Burke make the list. Emery Morales is here. Wilson Billings, Howard Madrigal, Vinny Coleman, Lewis Pittman, Jason Brindell, Patrick Dubois, Josh Rubel, Carlos Maraville, and David Bike round out our top 20. So last thing we're going to do is offer a contract extension to Bobby White. I think it would be very fitting for us to lock up Bobby White till his age for a deal like this. And we're trying to meet the demands. We'll go here. $124 million over 9 seasons to be our ace. He says yes. So we got Bobby White for Buco Bucks. Let's jump into the first game of the season. That will be against Arizona. We'll see. The magical season of 2030, that chapter has closed. It's 2031 here, and the next iteration of Rockies baseball starts here. We are taking on the Arizona Diamondbacks, and it's going to be a different team. Obviously, the loss of Nolan Jones stings. It stings me still now. It stings you at home, I'm sure. I don't think we have a bad team, though. We have a team that's predicted to be really, really, really good. Obviously, now led by Jazz Chisholm, Adele Amador and company, our pitching staff, and the addition of guys like, 96 wins were projected. But also, again, like I said, the addition of Wyatt Langford is a big one. Couldn't quite fit Jackson Merrill onto the squad as we tried to do in the offseason. But it is what it is. And we got Bobby Blanco, Bobby White, Heisenberg, however you want to call him. We inked him to a pretty nice extension, over $100+ million to be our ace over the next handful of seasons, almost the next decade, basically. And he has the Diamondbacks, as he's had so often, as Jake McCarthy steps into the box. And we are ready to go. 2031. Welcome to the show as Sterling Thompson, our third baseman, gets the job done there. Tommy Troy, 2-2 count, gets tied up with the fastball on the inside part of the plate. And, Bobby White looking real good here to begin things. And then Corbin Carroll came up, next pitch. Not looking so great anymore as that ERA balloons up to over 9 now. So Corbin Carroll, 4-2-5 on the home run distance. Hit that thing over 100 and just hung a breaking pitch. And, off speed, and that thing was cranked. And it hits the back of the bullpen wall. 1-0. And Marco Luciano, one of the marquee free agent signings for Arizona, he goes up the middle. Staying within division, new colors, however, as Arizona has been one of the bigger spenders, and we've seen them spend a whole bunch of money, especially in their pitching staff. And to a guy like this, Josh Naylor, who was frozen by the 12-6 curveball, he goes down. Corbin Carroll, he is the lone run for the D-backs in the inning, as we turn it over to the bats for the first time in 2031. Former Red Sox and current Diamondback Brian Bayo, a 3.87 ERA a season ago, 132 strikeouts in 150-plus innings. Can rear back and throw that thing pretty hard, but most of the time he wants to be a ground ball pitcher. Only 15 decisions in 27 starts a year ago. Troy Wood, our new leadoff hitter, is going to right field, and that will get him on base to be our first Rockies base runner of the year. First hit of the season for Troy Wood, who came up last year towards the end of the season last month, stayed with us through our World Series win, and now he will be a fixture at the top of the lineup for years to come. Dale Amador, something he does a little too often, beats into the ground to third base. Luciano turns it, and that will be 1-2 gone. And now Wyatt Langford steps in for his first time, and unfairly going to be looked at as the Nolan Jones replacement. He goes up the middle and gets a single. He was supposed to be the Nolan Jones helper, the teammate, someone to put in front or in back of Nolan Jones to protect him in the lineup. Now it seems like they might have some animosity originally from the home crowd, because it was him, not Nolan, right But we still got the same old Jazz. This one hit well into center field. This one is back in Coors. First pitch for Chisholm. We know how hot he likes to get early on in the season. He goes yard, 440 feet almost, 101 on the exit velo. You like Jazz. Say it with me, folks. You like Jazz. Jazz Chisholm gets us on the board, and we take the lead 2-1 here in the bottom of the first. Gorman, he lays into a circle change. We hung up just enough, however, for the center fielder, Drew Jones, to go out and get it. Jazz Chisholm, wipe those tears away, Rockies fans. We still have a stud in the lineup. Bottom two now, we move ahead. Tommy Domine coming off an impressive season last year. He gets a hold of a circle change, and this one gets out. Coors, not hit as well as Nolan Gorman's blast, but will register as a blast for Domine. 1 home run, 1 swing for him, and he starts 2031 off on the right foot. Again, we're really hoping for him to just continue to ride into the sunset after that big season. Marco Luciano up as we head all the way to the top of the fourth inning. Swings and misses at the first one. Swings and does not miss at the second one. This one about the same spot. Corbin Carroll hit it into the bullpen. Coors, that's elite. Not as enthusiastic Coors. It's the right team. We're not going to praise them. However, good baseball is good baseball. You can appreciate a good swing even if it's against you. So they crawl back. They are down by just 1 now. 427, a hundo on the dot on the exit velo, and we pick things back up in the bottom of the fourth inning. Domine trying his best to get this runner home as Chisholm goes and swipes second base after he gets on first, I believe, via the walk. Then 3-2 count to Domine. Fastball just painted the corner. Nothing he can do about that. He doesn't throw too many fastballs. We're looking, especially in the bottom of the zone, with some movement, and he just freezes you with that 100-mile-per-hour fastball. Slider down and away, the weakness of so many right-handed power hitters, especially Ezequiel Tovar. Bayo fired up, getting out of that inning unscathed, and we move it to the bottom of the fifth. So good thing we're not seeing too many Bobby White on your screen. That means he's doing a pretty good job, and Amador is going to go the other way, and with 2 outs in the inning, is going to get a little rally going, moving up him and the runner in front of him to second base. And this brings up Wyatt Langford, 1 for 2 on the day. Had that single on his first pitch he saw. And then now he gets a circle change right in the middle. Looks like, going back and seeing the data, was on it, just under it. And that could have been easily a 6-2 game, and we will settle for still up 1, but could have added some there. Corbin Carroll back again, once again, and deja vu all over again. Same pitch, a hung changeup. This time he got even more of it. This one, 474 feet, an absolute fucking tater. And he blasts this one. And this makes that Wyatt Langford swing all that more hurtful. Now you're looking, all right, 6-3. Who gives a shit? Now you're tied up 3-3. And Kyle Teal, former Red Sox and battery mate with Brian Bayo, they reconnect here in Arizona. And Teal now one of the best catchers in the league. We have to deal with multiple times a year. So he gets on base, and we're trying to keep this from a rally happening. Bobby White, he lets a double down the line go. Troy Wood gets to it, actually stops it from being a double. Not the best defender, but makes a really good play there to keep the runners at just one base apiece. And we're looking at Bobby White to get out of it, and we're going to go to the bullpen, and we're going to bring in Justin Leal. Leal, our first-round pick last season in the, I think, early 20s we selected him at. I don't have off the top of my head the actual number. I think 21, 22. But 96 on the fastball, has a changeup, curveball, slider mix. That slider can get in there with some velocity. And he gets a chopper on the fourth pitch he throws in the big leagues. Made a big league camp after dominating in his short stint in rookie ball and high A and such that. And here we go, 3-3, 7 hits apiece. It's as tied up as you're going to get. Justin Leal ties up Drew Jones. That would be his first career strikeout for number 21. A guy we can think be a weapon in our bullpen for years to come. Potentially maybe even take that closer role that we've had some good seasons from, but haven't had that one guy that we're super, super confident in. Leo, another strikeout. Obviously, we had Roger Calderon. But with the Marlboro man, sometimes you just need a guy that can go in there and just give you clean innings. We're hoping Leo can do just that. Not quite a clean inning here, however. Fastball, that register at 94. Gets taken the other way by Tommy Troy. That will be a double. That will put the Arizona Diamondbacks in scoring position and on the brink of taking the lead here. Corbin Carroll, he is up again, and we're going to just avoid him altogether. We're going to send him over to first base. The base is open. We have 2 outs. We put speed on the base paths, which sucks. But, again, it's Marco Luciano, who also has a good day, and we'd rather him beat us than Corbin Carroll again. We're going to bring in Roger Calderon. Why bring in Calderon against the righty? Well, he has better, just statistically, not hitting lefties as well. Also, Corbin Carroll has better stats against lefties, especially runners on scoring position, than Luciano. So we went with the numbers, we went with the matchup, and 1 pitch, 1 swing, 1 pop-up, and 1 out as we enter the bottom of the 7th inning. Still tied, 3-3. Yu Min Lin. He comes in, the long relief guy who got a whole bunch of burn 2 seasons ago, not that much last year, and now is getting the ball on opening day. We're going to bring in Mark Winchester. We're going to go in and let him face off against the lefty. We know how much damage Winchester usually does against lefties, and he is going to draw the walk. And here's another flurry of substitutions as we're going to bring in Tyrone Gehringer. Gehringer comes in as a really good masher against lefties, and he laces a double down the line. That will get into the corner and rattle up there. Both players on the base paths, not too terribly quick, but fast enough to get into scoring position, both of them, with just 1 out. What can we do with this fortuitous situation we have found ourselves upon? Both lefty killers came in, did what they had to do against the lefty. This swing by Gehringer, so quick, so smooth. Might not be a superstar, but man, he has a spot on my bench any day of the week. Troy Wood is up. We are going to make a switch and bring Tyrone Gehringer back to the bench. We're going to put in Leland Metzger to make his major league debut as a pinch runner here. Has just a good amount of speed. We're not going to switch out, Mark Winchester, mainly for the fact we don't have another catcher on the bench, so that will go disastrous. So we will be fine with his his low speed over at third, but a ball hit into the gap could do well, and unfortunately a ball hit hard just right at the shortstop, Tommy Troy, and that puts 2 outs, and the runners don't get to advance. Adael Amador, he gets a curveball. He smacks center field, but right on a line of Drew Jones. And we get some runners on, but cannot score them. And now it's 3 runs apiece, 8 hits apiece for both teams. Bottom of the 8th inning, Wyatt Langford against the lefty, back up the middle, high exit velo on that, 105 I think it said there on the bottom of the screen. He's an absolute baller, man, and again, I don't want this to be, he's the Nolan Jones replacement. It just so happened that's how things worked out. And unfortunately, Jazz Chisholm squared up this slider. You know how he does not do too particularly well against lefties and just bangs us into the dirt. And a twin killing in most inopportune time for us. And 3-2 count, Nolan Gorman holds up on the swing. But either way, it's a slider on the corner, dotted up. And Yumin Lin, he gets out of the jam. Calderon still in, gets Jake McCarthy. And like our last game of 2030, our first of 2031 is going into extra innings. Can we have that same rock-off magic that we used to win a World Series, basically? Let's find out now. And Yumin Lin faced 3 lefty killers, got all 3 of them out. Winchester, the last of the sacrifices there as he pops the Swan up. End of the inning, and we move on to extras now. Tanner Scott had a probably the best reliever contract in the history of reliever contracts that went over 3-4 years. He went to Texas and absolutely posted godly numbers. And first strikeout comes to Tommy Troy. Hundo at the letters by ya. Corbin Carroll pokes us one down the line, however, and Tanner Scott not as unblemished here with the Rockies as he was prior. And again, Carroll, all that speed, hustles all the way around to third base. And they are on the board, and they have another runner ready to come home. And 2 runs for the Diamondbacks. Not the best first showing for Tanner Scott, but hopefully that's not a sign of things to come. 5-3, we do find ourselves in the bottom of the 10th. Ryan Weathers, former friend, gives up a run. So we are back in it. It's 5-4. Troy Wood gets his second of the day and first RBI. As we still trail, we have the big boppers in the lineup, especially against the lefty. This is a real good time for us in this lineup. But Adael Amador, second time today, rolls it over, and that will be your ball game. Double play to end it. His first at-bat of the year, double play after a Troy Wood single. Last at-bat of the day, a ground-out double play after a Troy Wood single. So we lose the first one. It says we sweep the Rockies, but I know this is the first game of the season, and we play again tomorrow, so hard to do that quite yet. A little overzealous, but whatever. I guess bullet board material. And let's check out the stats of this one. Corbin Carroll, an absolute tank. We had a home run from Jazz Chisholm. Here's how it went down. 2 hits from Troy, 3 hits from Carroll, 3 hits from Luciano, and really they did so much of the damage. Drove in all 5 runs between the 3 of them, and really just the 2 of them. As Carroll and Luciano were the only 2 to drive in runs, both coming off of different swings. Carroll, 3 different swings. Luciano, 2 different swings. Bayo was solid, 6 innings, 3 earned, 7 hits, 6 strikeouts. And Lynn, we couldn't get to him. And Ryan Weathers obviously shut us down and got the save against his former ball club. For us, 2 hits. Seemed like it was pretty well mixed around. Nothing from Tovar or Romo, but I don't think really a poor offensive showing. Just could have maybe done a little bit more or strung some of those hits together. Did get a production off the bench from Gehringer, Domine, and Chisholm with home runs. Scored early, failed to score late until we got that extra inning. And then 2 double plays by Amador, 1 by Chisholm, all 3 of them pretty killer. Bobby White, 5 2/3, 7 hits, 3 earned, 6 strikeouts. Leal, borderline perfect in his first inning. Calderon, perfect in his 2 1/3, and then Scott, an inning for him, not great. Decent injury here. Enrique Benitez, our top prospect in the minor leagues. 2 to 3 months with a fractured leg. This is the first game of their season. That is very tough for Benitez. So he will go down on the IL, and that really does suck. Another decent injury, David Howard now. He fractured his forearm. He'll be gone for 1 to 2 months. And a couple of key fringe guys getting hurt for us early on in the season. All right, we're going to jump into some game action. We saw some injuries, but no matter. We still got to go up there and perform with the Big League Ball Club. And we are in beautiful Los Angeles. The 5-6 Rockies face on the 7-2 Dodgers. So a slow start for us out of the gate, especially after that thumping. Not thumping, that's too strong. The come from behind loss that we suffered to the Diamondbacks beginning of the day. We got 5-2 win against Dodgers in Game 1. Then we lost last night 3-2. And now in the rubber match trying to win this series, we got Eugene Carroll. For those who do know, we actually drafted Eugene Carroll. He did not agree to terms with us and eventually got picked up by the Dodgers, where he had all the same potential we thought he would have. Unfortunately, he's wearing Dodger blue while doing it. Gets a strikeout on Troy Wood. We could be friends. We could have been friends, but no, now they are sworn to be mortal enemies. Wyatt Langford gets a curveball, grounded over to third base, and that will do it. Eugene Carroll, a pretty clean first inning against the team that drafted him. You have to go toe-to-toe against J.J. Rose. 2 games started, 1-0 record. He has been on fire through his first 11 innings of work this season, and he continues it here. Gets a strikeout on a nasty pitch to C.J. Abrams, 1 down in the inning. Gleyber Torres, he grounds in one up the middle, and Amador gives a dive, but Gleyber Torres on first base begin things here. Shohei Ohtani still one of the most best players in the league, even at his ripe age, over probably approaching 40 now. He swings on it, misses at a slider. And then Dalton Rushing unloads on a fastball. First pitch, Rushing sees. He cranks it. Former backstop, now first baseman, implodes on J.J. Rose. 430 feet just about. Hit quite well. Rose loves to get ahead with that nasty fastball, and Rushing was all over it. Knew exactly what to look for, where it was going to be. Puts this one out, and the Dodgers claim a 2-0 lead against the Rockies. Bellinger, he gets one. It's a slider on the inside part of the plate. He turns on him. Bellinger looking like Cody Bellinger of old. The first time he was wearing a Dodgers uniform. Now back in town, and his second home run of the young season. He curls around this barrel pole. Actually gets it pretty far down the line. Not quite into the bullpen area, but still where the fans are at. In a tough first inning for J.J. Rose. Only gave up 1 run coming into this inning. Leaves giving up 3 in this inning alone. 2 home runs by the Dodgers. Rushing got a hold of the 1 for 2, and then Bellinger got a solo shot. And it's 3-0 Dodgers. Jazz Chisholm, he gets up and to begin the second inning, grounds us over to C.J. Abrams. We get a little bit of a gift. Abrams chokes it, and we get a runner on due to the E6. Nolan Gorman hitting a smooth 2-hundo to begin the season, and with Chisholm on the races to second base, this single that finds right field will put him all the way to third base. We got corners, no out here for the Rockies. Domine, be a perfect time to get into something. He gets enough. Fastball down the middle. He pops into center field. Plenty of room to let Jazz score. And we take, not take the lead, but take a run from the Dodgers. Make this a 3-1 ball game. Ezequiel Tovar, he cranks this one. This one going to left field, and that will drop. Actually got a little bit ahead of it. Able to sneak it in, and speaking of sneaking in, there's Nolan Gorman sneaking in right there as Tovar gets credited with the double. So Tovar comes through. Drew Romo, all he needs to do is hit a ground ball to the right side or a fly ball. He opts for the fly ball. This should be deep enough to score. Gorman, we're going to test the arm. It's going to be a lot closer than we thought, and going up to get it was Alejandro Kirk as Andy Pajes fired that one home. Sterling Thompson is actually just Wade Boggs. Fun fact, with a 430 batting average after Romo makes this a 3-2 game. And then the other way, that was very Wade Boggs-esque. I might not have been a Red Sox fan in the 80s, for I was not born yet, but I do know the Chicken Man and what he did. And he wore 26, played third base, and did shit like that. Just smack it the other way. Why not? Looks like literally Wade Boggs kind of swings like him too. All right. So we tie this ball game up. Eugene Carroll starting to get to him a little bit, and then Troy rolls over that changeup, and they get the out the short way. So first inning, pretty good by the Dodgers. Second inning, pretty good by the Rockies offense, and we are now tied up at 3. Wade Boggs, another one. That was his 14th beer he drank in the flight, and that was just the first leg of it, as he goes the other way. Troy Wood, with 2 runners going, loads the bases with the walk, and bases loaded, 2 outs, brings up a Dale Amador. 0 for 2 today, 1-2 count, pitches thrown. This one is crushed. A Dale Amador absolutely smacks it for a grand slam. Bases juiced. No more. Eugene Carroll gets tagged for 7 runs. Obviously, with the error to begin the third inning, I don't know how many of those he has attributed. Maybe I think just 1 earned run, maybe 2 earned runs. But either way, 7 runs on his ledger. How many of those are earned or unearned, we'll see at the end of the day. But that is the end of his day as Skipper comes out to get him, and Amador puts a shush over this crowd. Juan Pena, he comes in 6.48 ERA in 8.1 innings in 3 games that he has pitched so far. He's probably the first guy for long relief to try to eat up some innings, see if he can eat up some clean innings. Jazz Chisholm, well, is his first victim as he gets out of the jam and gets the strikeout on the changeup. Amador, a grand entrance here in Los Angeles. Chavez Ravine. Pickup action in the top of the 5th, and Nolan Gorman's going the other way, and this splits the outfielders, and he's going to try his luck for 2, and Gorman, a speed demon in this episode, he gets into second base head first with the slide, his 4th 2-bagger of the young season. Brings up Tommy Domine, 3-2 count with that runner at second base, and this one is lifted and well hit, and this one will actually split the outfielders, and we're entering the point of no return. Point of no return. Turn. Especially with this 5-run lead to an RBI double, his second double of the season. Domine continues to swing the bat real well. Not really too great. What we've seen from him today, good, but overall the numbers suggest not so much. Troy Wood comes up after Drew Romo gets to first base, and this is hit enough to score both of the runners. He stood on second base and watched 2 come in to score, and now it's officially the point of return. 7-run lead here in the 5th inning after a 2-out rally by the Rockies to put a few on the board. And that's going to bring in Jackson Ferris. Another 8 1/3 innings and 3 appearances. This time has been stellar. No runs given up in that time, at least earned runs. And Amador thought he might have had another one, but quickly realized that one wasn't getting nearly out of here. And that will be put away for the final out of the inning. Torres in the 6th. Gets to J.J. Rose here. That's a blast, and that one is gone. Wood with a leaping attempt, but he could not pull it in, and that would be a home run, and now it's a 5-run game. Still a nice cushion, but Dodgers did not quit in this one. And Tabor again. I keep saying Tabor. Gleyber Torres, he strikes here. Aldo Lozano we're going to bring in, a 7.50 ERA, a guy that we got in a trade this off season. Hasn't been too particularly great, but we'll see what he has against C.J. Abrams to begin the 8th inning. First pitch, smacked, gone. See ya. Crush, crank, bye. Have fun. Thanks for playing. Appreciate your time. 101 off the bat on the 98-mile-per-hour heater. And yeah, that's a home run. The 5th for Abrams already for the first 2 weeks of the season. Yeah, we'll show motion. Why not? Really hurt my feelings. Okay, cool. 384 feet. Not a monster blast. Might not even make Sports Center, but home run. 0-2 count rushing up the middle to Avar, the Magnet Glove. And we are close to putting this one away, despite the Dodgers getting some home runs in the later innings. Not enough to really chase us down. We'll see if we can hold on as we go into the 9th inning. In the bottom of the 9th, Bo Brisky on the bump against Kirk. And this chopper to Var will just about do it. So we go into Los Angeles, take a series against the Dodgers, who have had a real good start to their season. Give them their 3rd loss in 10 games on the year, the 2nd against us, and just trying to build up those wins against teams in your division. Those matter towards the end. Rose with the win. Eugene Carroll got smacked around and begin the game. It was a complete offensive effort, some good domination by our team, and we win this one 10-6. Let me take a look at the box score. Wood 1 for 4. Wyatt Langford had 2 hits. Amador had 1, and that was the loudest one of the day. Chisholm, 4 strikeouts for his day. Not great. Gorman and Domine, 2 hits apiece. And we got some production from the bottom of the lineup as well. Doubles from Domine, Wood, Tovar, and Gorman. Home run by Amador. RBIs by Domine, Romo, Wood, Thompson, Amador. Rose, 6 innings, 8 hits, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. Pearson came in for an inning, got 2 Ks. Lozano got in for an inning. And then Bo Brisky shot things down with an inning of work as well. For the hometown Dodgers, more production towards the top of the lineup than the bottom of the lineup. Betts 0 for 4, Outman 0 for 4, Pages 0 for 4. You also had Ohtani with 0 for 4, 2 strikeouts. Double from Shohei, though. Home run from Glaber, Abrams, Bellinger, and Rushing. So we had 4 home runs from them. Again, put up 6, you lose. You can't really blame your offense too much, especially when they're getting 9 hits as well. 3 2/3 for Carroll. 7 runs, 4 of them earned, 2 strikeouts. Pena gave up 3 runs, and then the bullpen, Ferris and Little, combined 4 1/3, no runs. Finished off April with a pretty good record right here. 19-15 so far through our first month of the season. A big win streak down here. Tuesday, very kind to us. Won all of our Tuesday games this month, which is pretty cool. I guess a little thing to see there. But 19-14 right now. We are a very competitive NL West behind the Dodgers and the Diamondbacks. We did end up playing both of those teams in this episode. Let's check on some stats before we get up out of here. Lineups. Troy Wood started the season off super hot, has slowed down, and Atel Amador, 12 home runs in the month. Absolutely incredible. Has been slowed down. Had like 5 home runs in the first week, including and then the 6th with that grand slam we saw against the Dodgers. Wyatt Langford also putting up MVP-type numbers here in his first go-around with the Rockies. Jazz Chisholm, absolute animal, 339. He always starts the season off hot. But we have 3 guys in double-digit home runs and 25 or more RBI, at least. And that's their first 4 batters we checked out for. Nolan Gorman having a very good start to the season. 289 hitter. Tommy Domine not hitting the best, but again, the power is there a little bit with 3 home runs. Tovar is doing all right. Drew Romo, kind of what we expect from him. And then Sterling Thompson was Wade Boggs in it for the first half of the month. But now down to 304, 4 home runs. That's fine for a number 9 hitter. Overall, super impressed with our offense. They really turned it on down the stretch. On the bench, Winchester, when he's getting against lefties, he's been mashing 4 home runs in 60 at-bats. Leland Metzger has his first career home run. Shout out him. Osiris Johnson has been fine. And Garinger, again, not really, when the opportunities he does get, not really producing. But again, this is a bench bat. He's going to have some hot, some cold. Is what it is. On the pitching side of things, what's it looking like? Not fantastic. Rafael Parra in the rotation because Bobby White did hurt himself. He'll be back, though. J.J. Rose doing great, 45 strikeouts in 39 innings, 2.97 ERA. Bud Leonard, very high ERA, 5.45. James Mora, 4.34. And then Marco Garcia just came off a complete game shutout, so he's hot. But he had a very tough start to the month. Justin Leland, 27 innings. He's been fantastic in his MLB debut. Vinny Garcia has done all right. Aldo Lozano has been fine. Nate Pearson had a real tough stretch, but has got his numbers back to where they need to be. Bobby White hasn't been fantastic. He's got chased a lot in these games, striking out a lot of guys, but 8 home runs already given up. We just signed him to that extension. Would love to see more from him. He'll be back shortly, though. Bo Brisky, fantastic. Roger Calderon, fantastic. And Tanner Scott, it's been quite shaky. Already 3 blown saves. Had 5 all of last year in 63 games. 7 the year before. 1 in 2028. Just has been a lockdown guy for the most part. But this year, a heavy outlier. Hopefully that doesn't continue and that shapes itself up. And then, as always, with the pitchers, let's look at their FIPS in comparison to their ERAs. So one difference in Marco Garcia, one difference. J.D. Rose actually a worse FIP, but that's not bad. Rafael Parra is about the same. So the FIPs are looking a lot better on most of these guys. FIP's a lot better with Tanner Scott, but still not fantastic. FIP's really good with Calderon. Brisky actually getting lucky with the ERA. Bobby White still not having a great year, but the FIP is pretty high, and that home run per 9 already at 2.4. Pearson's FIP's a lot better. Lozano's getting a little lucky. Garcia, a better ERA, and Leal checks out. So that's what it's going to look like for the month of April. We will check out, see who we will be playing here in May. We'll see you next time here with more Colorado Rockies baseball.